So that worked out. It was cool to be out there with Schwarb again. That was like really awesome. So it was me and Schwarb center and left, and then Soto and right. And I would pay Soto after hanging out with him a little bit and getting to know him, give him whatever he wants.
Yeah, what do we got? Like
just a blank contract.
That was
as
my
many
question.
Years as he wants, as much money as he wants. Just give it to him.
But my question is, I said it before you got on. I said if I'm a team, I say you take whatever prospects you want. I'll give you 3 everyday starters. Give me Juan Soto.
Juan Soto. I mean, he's an unbelievable player. Sneaky big, sneaky strong, sneaky jacked, sneaky.
I don't think that shit's sneaky, dog.
Sneaky, like he's like 6'2".
He's a big dude.
Sneaky, but also
he's 23.
He's 23.
Like that's honestly like chill out.
He's 23.
It's incredible.
His eye is great. Obviously, it's through power. He's the best hitter ever. He doesn't swing at balls, but he is so mature for a 23-year-old. He's so mature. Is
this your sales pitch for the Cubs to go get him?
Yeah, this is called pampering.
No, I'm just in on Juan Soto after that.
Well, unfortunately, Ian, if we get Soto, you're probably going the other way. I don't think we're getting Soto without you.
Yeah, you guys could maybe bump into each other in the DC airport.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. But that was it's also interesting when you like go to the All-Star game and you play center field, and then it's like I'm the left field guy. I'm the guy that hangs out in the left field. Schwarber and I got no action, so we were this is what we would do in the outfield, which is similar to what we were doing in Chicago. But we'd be in the outfield, and I would be watching. Devin Williams comes in, pitches, and throws a disgusting changeup, and Schwarber and I would look at each other, and go, oh, or like I was trying to think who else threw. Somebody else came in with a nasty pitch, and we would just be like, oh, it was just disgusting. Cutter. Oh, Halsey came in through 103, and we're looking at each other.
Yeah.
You see that? It was 103, and we got absolutely no action.
That's unbelievable.
Who'd you face in your at bat?
I faced Soto, Zack's boy from the Good Tigers.
And I saw he scared you, walked you.
Yeah, he tried to hit me in the ankle.
Smart choice.
One for one on base.
Sorry about it. What else is new?
Weird.
Ian, can I ask you, when did it like sink in? Has it sunk in? Like, was there a moment where you were like, this is, real? Like, this is I'm sure your childhood dream, and now you're living it?
Probably when he was flying commercial on the way back, and he's like, fuck, I just flew PJ there.
Back to the real world. Back to what all the other peasants
damn it,
do.
these fucking peasants.
Yeah, the Derby. I think shagging, like when it really, I like started to take it all in, was shagging the BP before the Derby, like being out there and seeing everybody and talking and hanging out. Yeah, but I felt like I did a pretty good job of like taking it all in and like really trying to soak it in, just being like top stepping it for the whole game and like chatting with guys, talking to guys, and yeah, that was just like looking around, like the intros and the flyover and the anthem and like all that stuff. Like those are the moments that you look down and you're like, holy shit, look at all these guys and look at all those guys. And
was there any one guy you were like super excited to meet, or like that you hadn't met before?
I don't know if there was like one guy I was like really looking forward to meeting, but it was just like
seeing all the collection of stars.
Yeah, it's like the collection of guys, and then just like guys that you play against that you hear good things about, or like you have some mutual friends, and then you actually get to like hang out for 2 days and get to know that person, and then like the next time you see him, you'll feel like that's like actually a relationship.
Speaking of that, like when you talk to guys and stuff, is the All-Star weekend like anti-baseball chop? Like in the locker room and stuff? Like, do you not like, listen, we don't want to talk about baseball right now. This is supposed to be our break. Or is it like you're talking to somebody and you're picking their brain for a little bit?
Yeah. You know what I think is the most impressive part about that, like that collection of guys is like, yeah, there's other stuff that you talk about, and like I had a really great conversation about wine and with like Machado and Dave Roberts, and like that was cool. But like
Oh,
you end up
wine. Gosh, Ian.
Grow
Yeah,
up.
You're so
dude, Robert has
cultured.
his own
You're
wine.
just so
Pretty interesting.
cultured.
As he
Um,
drinks White Claws after games sometimes. Talk about wine.
the it's amazing. It's amazing how much like that those guys like still want to talk about baseball or like little things and like little parts of the game or like why does your team do this or what's this? You know, you guys do this a lot. Like what's that about? Or like all those little things. Like
Isn't
is
that wild? It's just a bunch
Yeah,
of
it's so cool.
rich
It's so
grown
cool.
men who are really good at their sport trying to get more insight that on a game that they played since they were like 2 years old.
Yeah, and one of the best moments for me was just like being in the cage with Goldschmidt and like watching him go through his stuff and then like talking to him. And it's funny because like the coaching staff from the Braves, like they're trying to pick everybody's brain. You know, they're like they were talking to Goldie about his stuff and what he does. And you know, I was asking him about like,
Ooh.
dude, do you take BP? Like, oh, he doesn't ever take BP. Like he doesn't on the field. Like, okay, why do you do that? Like, when do you hit before the games? What's your routine like? Oh, you like this machine sometimes, that machine. Some years he said he only hit off the tee. And then some years he only hit flips. And then some years he only did the velo machine. And like he kind of learned over the years, like, oh, it's not one thing that's gonna lock me in. It's like if that's working for if like this thing is working for me and feeling good, like I'm just gonna roll with that. And like I don't have to hit on the field and like all those things. It's cool to hear from guys that have done it so well for so long and like, you know, how they've kind of changed their career.
Tell more guys to not hit on the field so pitchers don't have to shag, huh? What do you say?
It's
I've done it. This is the least that I've hit on the field in a year by far.
Well, tell that to the Iowa Cubs.
it's crazy. Like you said, there's a video of Ron Washington helping Pete Alonso. And it's like just a little shit like that. That's like an up and coming star. And then, you know, the infamous Ron Washington, who's just like the infield guru. And it's just like, they don't care. They're fighting for a playoff spot right now. And he's just like, yeah, you got like, you could see him like getting into depth conversation. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Wash is so cool. I was talking to him for a little bit. And like, I was like, it's like, Wash, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could ever get back in the dirt, but maybe you could help me out. I was just like joking with him. And it was, yeah. It was all those things, all those little things.
And then, so people probably are thinking, you know, you've played against Goldschmidt for however many years, like you've seen him hit before, but it's like, as baseball players, you're always looking for like behind the scenes things. Like you said, you know, you get to watch somebody do the routine or something. And it's just like, it sounds so simple, but like watching somebody do their flips or tee routine is just like wild. And the same thing with like pitchers, Dakota, like you watch somebody throw a slider, like, wait, how'd you hold that? Or let's like, right, but everybody thinks it's like, oh, it's just a normal slider, you know, it breaks that way. But it's like,
oh my gosh,
you'll watch, even if you watch somebody like who's in the hole, like, and they're standing on top step, if they're doing something with their hand that they don't do on deck, and you look at somebody, yo, did you see what he was doing on deck? Like,
there's so many different.
It's wild.
There's so many intricacies of all positions and all hitting, and like everyone does it so different, and everyone's like, no, like he's just throwing a slider, like. No, that's just how he swings. It's like, no, there's like little stuff that goes on behind the scenes that that's a perfect situation to pick people's brains that you would otherwise not get to like ask those kind of questions to.
Yeah. When you get to see guys, you know, when you play against them, you get to see the final product and you get to see what they're doing, but you don't get to see how they get there. And that's something you kind of learn with your teammates, but really like once you can dig into it with other guys and like watch that, like Mookie hit right after me and I got to watch a little bit of his routine and like his BP and like how you can kind of see how he gets to his game swing. His BP swing looks a little bit like his moves are a little bit bigger, which is interesting because a lot of guys' moves will be smaller in BP and then kind of get bigger for the game, where his moves, it felt like I didn't get a chance to ask him about it, but it felt like to me that his moves in BP were more exaggerated to get him to his game swing.
Wow,
which is
that
like
is
super
wild. I'm so
like
happy you said that.
His tip and his kick are like way more, it felt like to me more exaggerated in BP, and you know, it's still really fluid, but then in the game it's kind of a smaller, and I was fascinated by it, and I got to watch him kind of go through a little bit of his routine in the cage before I had to go out. But it just all those little things.
No,
so
it's
cool.
funny you say that because
I'm gonna need film of Zach Short's BP tomorrow because it's gonna be the biggest swings you've ever seen.
No,
Oh my
it's
goodness.
no. This is so unbelievable how this is tying in right now. 'Cause I
Oh.
saw a tweet. No. I saw a tweet the other day. It was like talking about hitters, like, they're going through it, and then it's like, all right, well, I want to simplify my move, and then it's like, okay, what does that lead to? Then it's like, okay, you're gonna start later because you don't think you have a bigger move anymore, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna start later, and then I'm gonna have no move, and I'm gonna start later, fall forward, try to just, you're not gonna be able to recognize anything, and it's like, maybe it's, hey, let's try to get a really big swing here, and then go smaller from there, opposed to just like going to the complete opposite. And it's like so many things get messed up when that happens, opposed to just, not saying be an athlete or something, but like go back to like get in the cage and be like, hey, go be Barry Bonds today. And then you're like, oh fuck, that might have clicked something.
I just did that for 2 weeks. I just went into small moves for 2 weeks and
Dude.
started swinging at bad pitches and only hitting ground balls. And it was
It's so wild.
then you have to find your way back to like, oh, if I start early and make a big move, I see it better and I'm on time, even though it feels like it shouldn't be on time.
It's funny, like I went through that and I never recognized why. Like in 2017 and 18, I walked so much. I didn't chase. Like the only time I would strike out would be if I swung and missed. And now, like going up into like 2019 and 2020, like my moves became really small. And I was like, no, I just want to be simple, so like I can be late and still hit it that way. And then in reality, I turned into like, I had like a really not big load, but like I had a lot of movement, but like I was on time all the time. I was starting early. I was recognizing, and then now I'm recognizing it again. But it's like in 19 and 20, I stood there like a statue, which led to like, just falling forward, just pushing your hands, like slicing shit, not being able to recognize it. And it's like, why did I lose that ability? And like now it's so funny you say that about Mookie, because like I have a lot of videos of him doing early work, and it's like his moves are huge, and I could never like put two and two together. Why? It's like, why does this swing look different there than it does in a game? But it's like, if you're trying to exaggerate something, you want to exaggerate it and not the opposite of like getting really small, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I think, again, I didn't talk to him about this, but I think he's one of the guys that in the game, his moves tighten up.
Yeah.
And like, he doesn't have a problem with like his moves in the game. He could be thinking big, but they tighten up, and he's, he's so compact and everything is so quick. Like I thought when I was thinking through it and talking through this with somebody, like I thought about Nico, because Nico's a guy that like in his prep work, like he thinks about like
really
making
big
this move and like pulling on it and like getting there. But in the game, like his moves are so tight and quick. And like if he thinks about being tight and quick, he's going to not even move at all.
Right.
Which is a really interesting concept, because some guys are the opposite. But like if you are a guy that's tight and quick and really twitchy, thinking bigger, you're never going to actually get there. Which is pretty interesting.
Speaking of
this,
Nico,
before we go into Nico, that segment was called Cage Talk, and it was sponsored by Athletic Greens. Your favorite greens, my favorite greens, Athletic Greens. Tell us about Athletic Greens. You guys love Athletic Greens.
Speaking of Cage Talk and Athletic Greens, every day I have my Athletic Greens in the cage during my routine.
Do you want to hear a great Athletic Greens story?
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is about the one delicious scoop of AG1 that you get 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and probiotics to help start your day right. And it's a special blend of ingredients to support gut health, nervous system, immune system, energy focus, all kinds of things. But listen, we were in Philly, right? And in Philly, there's a challenge for who can eat the most cheesesteaks. Like there's a record cheesesteaks. And a lot of times when you go to Philly, guys will sponsor staff members or people to see how many cheesesteaks they can eat. So Wade Miley and Kyle Hendricks put up some money for some staff members, and there was incentives. If you could get 5 cheesesteaks, if you could get 10 cheesesteaks, then if you break the record at 11. So we had a couple staff members going for the cheesesteaks, 5 cheesesteaks. 3 guys got 5 cheesesteaks. And one of the guys, I won't say his name, but he had 2 cheesesteaks down, and he was kind of thinking if he could go 1 for 1, if he could get a cheesesteak out of his system, maybe he would have more room to put another one in. So he went for the athletic greens. He was like, maybe if I can get some greens in my system and have some athletic greens, it'll make me a little bit healthier. Maybe it'll help me with a little probiotic. Maybe it'll help. So he, in between cheesesteaks, he went for an athletic greens, which was an interesting strategy. People were a little confused if he was putting more into the body, but it paid off. He got the 5 cheesesteaks. He got the money. Good strategy. Don't count out athletic greens when you need help with your cheesesteaks.
Is that 5 over the course of a series or 5 in
one day? One day. That's a day. And they're big.
And the record, the record is 11?
The record, I believe, is 11 in one day.
The whole day or just like within like an hour?
No, that's the day.
Oh, you call me
These
up.
Cheesesteaks are like,
call me up. That's broke. Call me
No
up.
chance.
Oh
No
my
chance.
gosh. If you can guarantee me I'm not pitching that day, call me up tomorrow.
Dakota, let's just set you up with a camera. We'll give you 11 cheesesteaks. You eat them.
Well, I'm not doing it.
Dude.
I want the pride of being.
Maybe it's
known.
only 8. Maybe it's 8. The record for a 4-game series is like 24.
Oh,
Hey.
No, you're not.
Athletic Greens is going to give you free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. athleticgreens.com/compound to take ownership over your health. Pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. athleticgreens.com/compound. Nico,
speaking of his swing, hey, I turned the game on tonight for it was the close game in the later innings, and I turned his at bat on. What a swing! First pitch, slider, right center, like weird.
But that's what Nico's trying to do, though.
I know, it's just so impressive he can do it.
Yeah,
and he's hitting 310, whatever it is, and he's playing Gold Glove shortstop. What the fuck more can you ask for from
that
him?
guy? That guy is going to be top 10 player more this year.
Yeah,
I already called him Derek G.
It's unbelievable.
He's unbelievable. He's a really, really, really good baseball player.
What a 4-5. Oh man, you guys back to back in the lineup tonight too.
Did you see my?
And you
my
smoked that ball the second.
109.
Also, I'm surprised you swung 2-0 when he was running.
Yeah, me too.
Because usually, especially,
I'm surprised you swung.
I don't know, unless it's 2 strikes, I never swing.
Usually I shut it down, but I was so locked in to him throwing me a 2-0 heater that I could hit.
That's wild.
And I smoked it. And it was kind of a situation where 1 out, if he gets thrown out there,
you'll just have to go bridge. It's all good, dude.
If he gets thrown out there and then I'm in a 2-1 count, the momentum completely shifts. But
then they throw around you. I made
a great swing on that ball.
What about Psycho Ian?
Oh, shout out Scotty Efros.
Your shower?
I have to respond to the text message he sent me. He sent me a very nice text. Scott.
You guys are like boys.
Yeah, we're closer than you guys. Scott, congratulations. Scotty Efros.
Wait, hang on.
Friend of the pod. Come on, let me say
hang
congrats.
on. Are you saying you're closer with him than us, or you're closer with him than me and Zack are with him?
Yeah, be careful. Be careful.
I'm closer
here,
to
boss.
Scott than you guys are to Scott.
False.
No.
That's not true.
Not even close.
That just can't be true. Because
Nice try there.
Only one of us in here was at Scott, or 2 of us in here were in Scott's wedding. One was in it.
That was before.
I'm gonna say as the arbiter, I don't really care here, but it does seem like if you put a gun to my head, I would say Dakota and Zack are closer. That's just my vote.
Thanks, Tom.
Maybe
Appreciate
that's what
you.
everybody would say, but it's not what I would say. It's not what I would say. Scott,
I thought the funniest part is he struck him out to end the inning, and Willie still threw it, and Scott still turned to look if he got him. I'm like,
bro, could you fucking imagine if Scott just picked that ball up out of fucking midair?
It wouldn't have surprised me if he snatched it.
Oh my, and just put it right in his fucking pocket. Oh my God, dude.
Can I tell the listeners what happened?
Yes. Yeah,
Scott Efros, friend of the pod, he got his first save today. First big league save today. 3-2 win against the Buccos. He did a great job. He came in. He was a little bit of psycho-y, but he kept the nerves calm. His first pitch out of the stretch, body got a little in front of the arm. But He was great.
Zach
He
said
was so
missed
happy after,
every
too.
spot.
No, his shit was
So
moving
kidding.
so much that like he would throw an 85-mile-an-hour changeup and like Willie would be like down and in, but it would be just like middle, it would be like a nasty splitter, and they would just swing over it. And it's just like you could set up wherever the fuck you want. They're not hitting it.
He's been throwing the splitter
He's so gross.
or the changeup more, but it was most I've seen him throw it tonight. He really went to it.
So like you said, he was close to Psycho E. I think he tried to pick off O'Neal Cruz twice. And you can see him like try to get back on the mound. He's like, let me touch the rubber quick. Let me take a breath.
Just touch the grass. Yeah.
That's what he needed. He needed a little breather.
Yeah, he got a little shower, a little beer shower in the shower after the game for his first save. Got the lineup card, got the ball.
Do you,
Pretty cool.
when you guys do beer showers, do you do just beer? Or do you do anything you can find? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Pretty gross.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. It used to be worse. Hobby's notorious for getting some really gross stuff in the mix there.
I'm pretty
Like
sure
pickle juice and stuff.
my friend Foley threw like tuna on Will
Yeah.
Vest.
People that do the milk.
It's
Jugs,
everything.
like jugs of milk. Oh,
Ew, with
gross.
like sour cream and balsamic. Ew.
is there anything else that we need to cover that's going on? Have you ever been to Dodger Stadium? I saw some people hit balls out of Dodger Stadium during batting practice, and the home
They're
run
probably
derby.
using 2019 balls.
Yeah, they're using the hot balls, but it was
I don't think anyone asked you, Ian. What was the coolest moment? If you had to pick, like, what's like the one? If you think about it as a whole, like, is there one thing that's
Hey, Tom, don't worry. I already asked him last week.
what did I say?
You know, I had to mix that question in two.
What did I say? Schwarber?
You did not ask him last week
Yes.
because we didn't record last week.
No, I texted him in the group. I'm saying you were saying like,
He wants the fans to hear it though.
I know. I'm saying you guys are making fun of me for asking him questions. I'm like, oh, Tom, don't worry. I already got that one covered.
Yes. Okay. I got you.
Come on, dude.
Sorry. Ian, go.
What did I say?
You didn't answer. Choose now.
Um,
Don't look back and cheat. It's like looking at the answers of the test.
no, I think the coolest part of the weekend. It's tough because there's like so many different ones, but I think being on the field with Schwarb for the Derby was probably like the coolest individual moment. But the like lineup announcement and the anthem and the flyover was also really awesome. I love a good flyover. It was a good flyover.
Oh, you said, can I say what you said or no? Or is that cheating?
Yeah, what did I say?
You said the pool hole set bat.
Also really cool. Pujols' AB, everybody giving him a standing O. Getting to watch that from the side, really cool. And he fouled a ball off his back leg. He back-legged himself, and then he came into the dugout, and he was sitting right next to me, and his pants pulled up, and he looked at me, and he was like, I don't know how I did that. I hit myself back leg. And I was like, Albert Pujols has a bruise on his knee. And he's talking to me about it. Yeah, I got Albert to sign. You asked me about stuff I got signed, didn't you? Did you ask me about that?
I don't think I mixed that one in.
I had Albert and Miggy sign a jersey, which was cool.
And Miggy, you said?
Mm-hmm. Miggy
Well, Zach could have got
personalized
you
it.
that.
Bro, it's so funny. Like, obviously thinking of Miggy as like, holy shit, he's Miggy. But like the other day, like anytime he gets a hit, it's like, and he just passed so-and-so. But it's like, I don't think of him as like that anymore, where it's like, you don't see him ever. And you're like, holy fuck, that's Miguel Cabrera. And like, I see him like, Miggy, what's up, man? How we doing? Do our little handshake. And it's like,
and he's hitting 300.
it's ridiculous, dude. It's fucking ridiculous.
Should we get to screen time for the people?
Sure. A little slow on screen time action.
While we're loading this, can I
One
tell you
screen
how I found out you were an all-star? Because I was not on the episode when when we found out.
Tell me.
I knew it was probably going to happen on Sunday. I was driving to Montreal Sunday. So I left like 3:00 and I hadn't come out. And I was like, all right, I'm just hoping. And right as I got to the Canadian border, I'm third in line. I have my passport in hand. I got all the fucking documents. I get a call from our socials guy, Kyle, and he said, Hap's an all-star. And I was like, holy shit. I was so happy for you all. I mean, they fluffed you last week. I'll give you a quick fluff here. I know, as the socials guy, I watched a lot of your at-bats last year. It was tough. A lot of people said a lot of things about this podcast, and to see you come back this year was so fucking cool. And to see you in the All-Star game was so fucking cool. And in that moment, I was just so happy for you, man, because that was so. I know you grinded through it last year. Last year was tough, but this year's been awesome. So I was just so happy for you in that moment. But it was very funny because I had to immediately tell him, I'm at the Canadian border. I can do nothing on socials. Can you just please help me? Because we need to cover this. And I have no access to my phone for the next 2 days. So
Were you like fist pumping in the customs line?
yeah, the customs guy actually asked me.
High fiving the customs people? Like, fuck yeah.
I don't know have you guys ever seen Parks and Rec? You know how Ben Wyatt's very scared of cops? That's kind of my vibe around cops. Like I'm not great around them. And he was like, you seem very happy. And I was like, my friend, I was like, this the guy I work with, he made the All-Star game. And it's really cool.
You could say friend. You could say friend, Tom.
Friend, Tom.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I will say on the way back though, coming back from Montreal, the American border agent 100% thought I was a drug mule. 100%. He stopped me for 5 minutes and asked me 20 questions.
Can you confirm or deny if you are or aren't a drug mule?
I can confirm I'm not a drug mule.
Oh, good save there. Good save.
Yeah.
Real quick about the Sloan screen time. The flushers in Dodger Stadium are Sloan flushers.
That's big.
Wow. What else is
Big
new?
for
the
big
best
for
the
Sloan,
best.
big for the pod.
Come on.
I'm terrified.
337 for me, boys. 337.
357.
Yes.
I gotta get a pass.
Come on.
We had a 6-hour bus ride, 5:18.
Stinks.
6:12.
612. Not bad, Tom.
By the way, Dakota was kind of on me when I wasn't here, and he was also saying that I have a lot of high screen times, which I don't feel like it's entirely accurate.
No, they've been getting better. Getting better.
Your screen times are very respectable, especially for what your job entails.
I will admit, though, I don't know if I can still pull this up, but last week I fell asleep with my phone on, and I slept for like 12 hours. So my screen time one day was like 19 hours or something. So it was slept for like 12 hours with my phone just on.
I wish that was a day that we were recording.
I was like, thank God we're not recording this day because I would have had to lie. I would have had to come up with some.
Okay, fine. Fine. I'll watch the Cubs replays right now on ESPN. Fine.
Also, I think Max Fried might be a future guest of the Compound Podcast. We were talking a little bit about John Boy and podcasting. Just throwing it out there.
Ian, you know better than to throw names out there because
just throwing it.
Wait,
out.
how did
so
that
basically,
come up, Ian?
fans 4 months from now plan on Max Fried.
He was talking to me a little bit about John Boy, and it's like, yeah, this guy might want to come on the pod.
He knew he had one. He said he listened.
He
knew.
mentioned John Boy, and that's all. That's his close. All right, I think we'll get him.
I saw Ariette out there, friend of the pod. He was out there doing his thing.
Did you say hi?
I did. Yeah, I got to talk to him for a minute.
I mean, he's technically our rival now, right? He's got his own.
Ooh,
That's
Yeah.
crud. Yeah, a bunch of crud. He came on us to learn.
What's
Good
that?
point. Good point.
Whoa,
Good
whoa.
point. That's probably true. All right, guys. That's episode 119 of the Compound Podcast, presented by Parse Rum. We'll see you next week.
Ian was an all-star.